Hello and welcome again to the 1970s and also to Just Vintage Crochet. I am apparently on a 60s and 70s kick, leaning more 70s, but these patterns are so perfect for fall. I just love these patterns from the 70s for fall. So I feel like brightening up my day today. Too much gloominess going on in the world around us. So I wanted to bring a little brightness into all of our day today. So let's make this beautiful boho shawl. I'm calling it boho because in my mind, that's what it looks like. I love the beautiful like dress peasant type skirt she's wearing. I love the whole vibe here. Let me show you my colorway. This is made all in one color, but I want to make it look like a sunflower. Somebody asked me not long ago on one of my community posts, what are your favorite colors? And the first thing I can think of is every color that makes up a sunflower is my favorite color. And so I want to make this look like a sunflower-ish minus any green. So here's my colorway. So the brown will be the entire center of the shawl, like it's the center of the flower. The black will only be used on this one row of single crochet right here. The gold. Okay, so I changed my color palette. I'm sorry about the noise, my dryer is going. I changed my color palette a little bit. I got rid of the black. I kept the cafe latte. I added this dark brown. This is going to replace the black. This is coffee. Then I added rust. I think I'm going to do rust. So the coffee is going to be this solid band right here. Let me get this to point better. So the coffee is going to be this solid band right here. And then I think 1 or 2 rows I'm going to do with the rust, then do the rest of the fillet portion in the golden yellow, and then of course the fringe in the lemon. So that's my new color palette, and I think I nailed it. Not only is it very 70s, but it's very, very sunflower. Here's my inspiration. Now, bear in mind, it's nighttime. I've got my living room light on, so the colors are not true. But here's my inspiration, the light brown, the halo of darker brown, then here, I guess I could do this. So now you can see what my inspiration is. So this is my new color palette. Okay, with this shawl, we will be starting at the bottom. So if you have, because originally I had in mind to use a variegated yarn. So if you have in mind to use a variegated yarn, coordinate your colors, or I said variegated, and I meant to say a color striping, or it was an ombre. So coordinate your colors with the idea of what you want on the bottom, because this will be worked bottom up. Then we will add the outer portion, and obviously we do the fringe last. And this pattern, if you do pick it up in the Etsy shop, it is written in US terms. All right, so let's start with the slip knot, and we're going to chain 6. Now, if this pattern, as I make it, it might look a little, I don't know, not very appealing. It's like whenever you do your makeup, okay? They say it's trash until the lash. The lashes bring the whole makeup look together. Let's get to the point of the lashes. Let's get to the fringe, and then it will all come together and you will love it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And also what's fun is we get to use a big, fat, comfy hook. Oh, yeah, I love it. So chain 6, and in the 5th chain from the hook, work a treble crochet. So yarn over twice, go into that stitch, and pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Yarn over twice again, and in the next stitch over your last chain, work 2 treble crochet into that chain. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and 2. Yarn over twice. The majority of this is going to be treble crochets. There we go. And this is what you should have so far, essentially 4 treble crochet, as this counts as our first treble. Okay, let's chain 4, and you're going to chain 4 at the end of every row. The chain 4 counts as your first treble. turn. Now we will be working in spaces, so we won't be working in the tops of our stitches. Yarn over twice and work 2 treble crochet into the chain space between these 2 trebles. I did not mean to say chain space. We don't have any chain space. Forgive me. I meant to simply say space. So into the next space over between the 2 trebles, we're going to repeat that. We're going to work 2 more trebles in this space. Now into the last chain 4 space we have here, we're going to work 3 trebles. 1. Oh, it's a new ball of yarn, so you know how they like to play tug of war with you when they're new. 2, yarn over twice, and 3. Okay, so the end of row 2, that is what you should have. Essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trebles. Now we're going to chain 4, and we will always chain 4 at the end of every row. Okay, now for row 3, we're going to work 2 treble crochet into the first 2 spaces. So here we go. 1 and 2. Next space over. 1 and 2. Okay, now we're going to skip 1 space and work 2 treble crochet between the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2, and it says to do this twice. So let's skip the next space and work 2 treble into the next. There we go. 1 and 2. So basically what we did there is we started off with 3 treble into the first space. That's how they are working that out. But according to the pattern, 2 treble into the first 2 spaces. Then we skipped 1 space, worked 2 treble into the next, skipped 1 space, worked 2 treble into the next. Now we're going to work 3 treble into the last space. One, 2, and 3. There we go. Let's count the stitches. 1, 2, 3. Of course, counting your turning chain as 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 6, 7. Skip 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, and 12. Sorry, I got tongue-tied there for absolutely no reason. This is what we should have. Let's move on to row 4. 1, 2. Ooh, new yarn. Playing tug-of-war with me. 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to work 2 treble into the first 2 spaces. 1 and 2. 2 treble into the next space over. 1 and 2. We're going to skip 1 space and work 2 treble into the next. And it says to repeat. Now it says to repeat at this point where we skip a space, which means we now skip a space and work 2 treble into the next. We skip a space and work 2 treble into the next. I gotta quit that. I keep starting off with doubles. Again, skip a space, 2 treble into the next, which should line us right up with our last space, where we will work 3 trebles into the last. And there we go, 3 trebles into the last space. 1, 2, and 3. Now the pattern says to repeat row 4 until we have 30 rows worked. So let's just go ahead and do a couple of these rows together so we really have it locked down. So we chain 4, turn, and into the first 2 spaces we work 2 treble into each. 1, 2, next space, 1, 2. Now here's where we start skipping. So we're going to yarn over, skip the next space, work 2 treble into the next, then skip the next, work 2 treble into the next, skip, work, all the way until we are at this portion right here. So we should skip this space, work 2 treble here and 3 treble here. So let's do that. Yarn over twice, skip this space and into the next space over, 2 treble, 1 and 2. Yarn over twice, skip this space, next space over, 1, 2, yarn over twice, skip, work into it looks like I'm working into the previous row's treble area. See? Let's see if that's correct. Yeah, that is correct. So essentially you're just going to work 2 trebles in the space between the 2 trebles of the previous row. Very, very easy. So I see my next 2 trebles right here. I don't even have to worry about what do I skip. I'm just going to work right between those 2. If I can ever remember to work actual trebles. Now, of course, I think you can make this smaller for children by working this with half double crochets or double crochets. And then just keep working out until it's big enough for the child. All right, yarn over twice, skip, and here is my next set of double or trebles. I'm just going to work right between those. I love a nice, easy pattern, but yet looks so interesting and unique. I love the different textures of this pattern. It's very, very fun to look at. Now we work 3 into the last chain 4 space. 1, 2, and 3. Let's work 1 more row together, and then I'm going to leave you to it. Just keep working until you have 30 rows, then come on back and we will begin working the border portion together. Okay, let's do 1 more row together in the meantime. Chain 4, 2 trebles into the first space, 2 trebles into the very next space over. Then we start skipping. 2 trebles into the next, between the next 2 trebles, or skip a space. Two trebles into the next space between the next 2 trebles over. Repeat. Oh, I love a nice, big, easy, relaxing project. The coat was a little bit of a marathon for me, and it made my hand pretty sore in this area for a couple of days. But a project like that, again, it's in the vault. I made it once. I don't have to make it again. and I love it. It was worth it. It was so, so worth it. I can't wait till it actually gets cold around here. I know in the video I said it's 54 degrees out. I was just giving an example of a cold winter day. It was absolutely not 54. It was nearly 90 degrees out. I was wearing that and then changing my pants and changing out my boots and changing out my wigs. And yeah, I was pretty sweaty by the end of filming all of that. I actually can't wait till it turns off cold around here just so I can wear that coat. I am so excited to wear that and debut it out. One of my favorite things to do, please tell me I'm not the only one. Please, please tell me I'm not the only one. When you make something you crochet something so fabulous like a purse or a coat, and you can't wait to take it out and just go to the grocery store in it or wherever and see if somebody looks at it. See if somebody says something like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Where did you get it? You know what I mean? It's kind of egotistical, but I think people who create things, we kind of look for that. It's like our child, like sending our child off to school the first day, and you know, you just want to hear nothing but praises from your kid is the smartest kid in the class. You know, we all have those kind of fantasies. Please tell me I'm not the only one who will wear her new favorite, most fabulous item out, hoping at least one person might say something. Okay, I really hope I'm not the only one because that makes me sound incredibly egotistical or something. So here is our pattern repeat. Very simple. So keep working until you have 30 rows. These rows are going to be easy to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I will be back and we will start on the fillet or the netting portion. And then we will do the fringe. I can't wait. This is going to be so bright and so sunflowery. I can't wait to look at it. So I am at my 30th row now. Here we go. It really didn't take very long at all. So I just got one more stitch to work, and I saved that to work with you because I'm going to do a color change. Normally, this is all going to be, I say normally, the pattern doesn't recognize a color change as it's meant to all be worked in one color. But since I am changing colors, I'm just going to do that with you on camera. Okay, so with the coffee color, going to work my last treble. 1, 2. Before I finish that third pull through, I'm going to add the coffee and finish that last treble with the new color. Now, it wants us to chain 1 and turn, but not turn like this. We're going to turn just like this. Now we're going to work along the side, and I'm going to bury in these tails along the way a little bit. So into the top of our very first stitch here, let's go ahead and work 1 single crochet. It wants us to work 4 single crochets around every chain 4. So that counts as 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we just jump right over to the next chain 4 and start working 4 single crochet again. I will come back whenever we get close to the tip there, and then we will work the corner together, and that's how all 3 corners will be worked. So there you go, just 4 single crochet into around every chain 4 all the way to the little point here where we started. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, now we have reached the point. So here is our starting little knot right here. So it wants us to put 2 single crochet right into, like right underneath this knot. So 1 and 2. Then we just start working our 4 single crochets along into every chain 4 space along up the other side, but not around. We're not going to, the portion up here, the widest portion of the shawl, the part that goes over our neck, isn't going to get any of this. Okay, so that was 3 and 4. Then just jump right over and keep doing it. Let's look at that point real quick. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, I will be right back. Just work your way all the way up until you get to the basically to the widest portion of the shawl, and then stop. I'm going to change color. You don't have to do whatever you're going to do, but then we're going to start working the fillet pattern after we work this single crochet row. So, and that doesn't get worked at all along this edge. This edge right here, I think we're going to work single or slip stitches along this edge. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, so worked my way. I just have one more single crochet to work. Now I'm going to add the rust, and this is not Red Heart, this is actually Joanne Fabrics Big Twist. But now I'm going to add the rust, and I've decided, since it's calling for 5 rows of the fillet work, I'm going to do the first 2 rows in rust, and then I will do the remaining 3 in the golden yellow. Okay, so right here, I'm going to work my last single crochet right into that stitch there, finish it with the rest. Now it wants us to chain 4, so it does want us to work into the first stitch right here, not right here, but right here. Chain 1. Now we will skip 1 and work a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, work a double. This is the repeat all the way to the corner. When you get to the corner, come on back and we will work that corner point together. Well, which is it, Karina? A corner or a point? So when you get to the point, come back and we will work the point together. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, now that we have reached the point, we have 1 stitch to skip, 1 to work in, and then we're going to, without skipping anything, we're going to immediately work into this top single crochet here. I know we have 2 in the stitch, but we're only going to work in 1 of them. Okay, so I've already chained 1, skip 1, work a double. Now chain 1, don't skip any, and we're going to work 1 double crochet, chain 1, again 1 double crochet, all into the same stitch, chain 1, and then 1 more time 1 double crochet, so that we have got 3 double crochets separated by a chain 1 into the same stitch. Now chain 1, and into the very next stitch, go ahead and work your double. Now we're going to start skipping. Chain 1, skip 1, work a double, all the way to the end. I will meet back up with you when we get to the other end. Okay, worked my way over to the end. Chain 1, skip 1, work 1 double crochet into the last stitch. Now chain 4 and turn. And we're going to work 1 double crochet into the very next double crochet over. Chain 1 and repeat, double crochet into the next until we get to the corner. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So when we get back up, I keep saying corner, when we get back over to the point, come on back and I will go over how we do the point, and then I will leave you to it for the remainder of the rows. We're going to need 5 of these total. After this, I'm going to change color. So whenever I do come back, we're going to start working on the fringe, and then that's it. A very easy, beautiful fall shawl. Okay, so let's work this point area here. So we've worked our last double crochet here. Now we've come to where we have the 3 double crochet into the same stitch. So let's chain 1 and work 1 double crochet, chain 1. Now into this middle stitch here, we're going to do what we did down here. So we're going to work 1 double, chain 1 into the same stitch, another double, chain 1, and then into the same stitch, 1 more double, chain 1, and into the next stitch over, we work a double, chain 1, and start working our regular pattern repeat. So when you get to the end here, you're just gonna, if you're not changing color, I'm gonna change color. You're just gonna work a chain 4, turn, and work a double crochet into this first and start working your pattern repeat and repeat the corner exactly how we did it here, as you can see. So that's it. So I will be back whenever we are ready to work the fringe. Okay, so I actually wound up adding 1 more row of the filet rows because I remembered that my gauge came out a little small, so I figured I'd make up for it by adding an extra row of the golden yellow. So we have our last stitch worked. Now, if you're working all one color, you're not going to have to worry about changing colors, but I am going to change colors whenever I get to the rest. I'm going to tie on my coffee color and then go across the rest with coffee, but it wants us to work in slip stitches now. So chain 1, and then right back into the very top of this last double crochet you made. Work your first slip stitch. And then working into the actual stitches as best you can, evenly work 1 slip stitch all the way across. Of course, when we get to this portion, it's going to be a lot easier. But I'm just going to try to work as evenly as I can, and then I'll show you how I'm going to tie on that coffee color. There we go. Almost done. This was a very quick and fun pattern, wasn't it? I love it. Almost done. We just have all that beautiful fringe to put on. The lashes, remember? That's why I said it starts off looking a little scruffy around the edges, but it all ties together at the end. All right, this next stitch, I'm going to go into the stitch with my golden yellow, but I'm going to complete the slip stitch with the coffee. Just like that. Now I'm going to work coffee all the way to the end. Well, almost all the way to the end. I'm going to, when I get back to the other end of the rust, on this side, that's whenever I'm going to tie the golden yellow back on. I wish I didn't have to film at night right now so you guys can really see the way these colors look. They're so pretty. But I thought the coffee wouldn't look bad over the rest. It would work. And I think it will. Oh, I look forward to getting over to those treble crochets. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not always a big fan of trying to work into a stitch that's not a stitch. You know what I mean? There, I think it works. It looks all right. Okay. Kind of wish we just worked single crochet. I know it says slip stitch, but I don't like that because I want to be able to wear the shawl either way. So I think I'm just going to take it upon myself. So at least, you know, the spirit of the original pattern is here. I showed you how to do that, but I mean, come on. I think it's going to look better with single crochets. I really do. Yeah. Yeah, because the color, whenever I look down, it looks beautiful. Honey yellow when I look in the camera, it almost looks neon. Now, that might change as the video processes, because I'm using an apple, and apples tend to, the photo you capture or the video you capture changes while it processes, because it's just got that software in there. And so you might not be seeing it the way it looks on my screen, but on my screen, it looks neon almost. Not the biggest fan. Not that I don't like neon, but it's not what I'm going for. So I do hope you guys are getting a pretty good representation of what these colors actually look like. All right. Yeah, I definitely like the single crochet a lot better, because now I can throw the shawl on any old way and it won't be obvious that there's single crochet or that there's slip stitches on one side. That's the stitch that didn't want to get stitched. Okay. Now it's easy sailing with the tops of these trebles, except for my yarn is playing tug of war with me. Yeah. Then when I get to the other end, I'm just going to go ahead and tie that light yellow back on. See, I think that it works over the rest. That's going to be fine. Okay. So I'm going to work the single crochet all the way across. Then I'm going to change colors at this point here, and then work the rest of it in the yellow, and then going to come back and show you the fringe. Okay, I will be right back. Let's make the fringe. This book measures 7 inches this way, like this way. Okay, so here is the book, and I'll be using it this way. It says to cut 12-inch strands. Basically, when you fold them in half, you'll have 6-inch long fringe. This will be, you know, just a little bit longer. Okay, so what you want to do is get your book, put your strand right there into the cover, and just start wrapping it around like this, over and over and over again. Of course, this is a lot easier to do whenever you're not trying to balance under a camera. But anyways, okay, that should be enough just to show you a sample. Cut. Then you will come up here and cut. And it says to use 4 strands per fringe. So I am actually going to unravel my fringe from the outside. I'm just going to do this for a sample because look, it's crimped because it's center pulled. But just for the sample, this is how long the fringe will be. It's basically 6 inches. It's pretty even. Okay. We will grab the shawl and just starting on one end right here. There we go. And just going to pick a stitch. And I think I'm going to go every other stitch, just so that it's not too crowded, because these are 4 strands, which will obviously double into 8. I think it'll be easier if I just use my fingers. There we go. Sorry about Merlin. Anytime he hears someone wrestling around in the house, he barks. There we go. Then I will grab 4 more. Fold them in half. I'm going to skip the space. And basically, I'm going to put a piece of fringe into the top of every double crochet. That's what I'm going to do. Pull this on through. And there we go. So we will just keep working it like this all the way to the end. Of course, I'm going to undo these, and I am going to work the outside of my skein where the strands are not all crimped and wavy like this, because I want them to be straight as a pin like that. Okay, so stick around and I'm going to show you some reveal shots, and we'll see if I created a sunflower.